The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area. The Chicory House Bistro at the Rink offers breakfast and lunch daily. And now a new bar upstairs inside the Garden District Bookshop, 2727 Britannia Street at Washington Avenue. Learn more at therinknola.com.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tucker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Hey, Miss Poppy.
Hello, Peggy.
Howdy. And Gwen Thompkins, and of course, she is the host and producer of the public radio series Music Inside Out. Hello, dear.
Hello. So nice to be here.
Oh, glad you're here. And Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and TheaterCriticism.com. Hello, sir. Poppy, you got a Jazz Fest gig.
It's Jazz Fest time. And so tomorrow at 1:30, I'm on the Food Heritage stage.
Tomorrow, Friday.
Yes, in the grandstand with my dear friend, Julie Vocalist. We're doing dueling crawfish dishes right out of her new book, Creole Made Easy, featuring that delicious Vocalist crawfish sausage. And so she's doing a corn and crawfish bisque. That was kind of fun last year. You know,
look at that picture.
We have a very good time on that stage. And I'm making crawfish jambalaya. But you know what I really want to remind everybody is that there is fun to be had inside and outside of the festival. For instance, WYES at the Track is teaming up with Crystal Hot Sauce for what they're calling Porch Fest Sundays. So right there, just outside the gates, from 6:30 to 8:30 this Sunday, it's going to be Colin David and the Night People. They're going to be serving those delicious Bloody Marys that Crystal does with their hot sauce. And then the following Sunday, May 4th, it's Steve Kelly and Friends. So it's live music, it's delicious food, and spicy Bloody Marys. Don't miss the fun at WYES at the Track and Crystal Hot Sauce. And then, you know, one of my really favorite things to do is to bring to-go containers, really secure ones, and at the end of the day, get dinner to go. From the festival.
Idea.
I love doing that. But you know, if you don't bring dinner home from the fairgrounds, maybe just a pizza is exactly what will fill the bill. And Z's Pizzeria, you know, this is Xander White and his family, and their business is such a sweet little family business with the most delicious pizza. When I was there the other night, there was a former Bywater resident who said, I was so sad to leave pizza delicious, but Z's has really made it up to me. So, you know, that is big praise. They have a very simple menu. They have garlic knots. The salads are yummy. Order a Mediterranean. And then they have these house-made squares. That's a special on Monday night now. So really great ingredients, a simple margarita sauce. You can put hot honey on that fresh mozzarella and pepperoni pizza. They're closed Tuesday, but they serve continuously most days from 11:30 until 8 or 9 o'clock. So if you forgot to bring dinner home from the festival, stop at Z's. And they have a pizza happy hour from 2 to 4 that is Wednesday through Friday, 25% off slices and drinks. And then square pizza slices are really a big thing. And Monday night is square slice night. So don't miss that. But what you really need to think about is that directly next door to Z's Pizzeria is Lucy Boone Ice Cream. So there you have dinner and dessert. They're right there together on Barone Street. And all I can tell you is that the menu has flavors like Nutella brownie, carrot cake, key lime pie. I have a pint of salted butter caramel and cold brew, which sounds like coffee, but it's really chocolatey and just delicious. And they do make cakes and pies by special order. They're open daily from noon until 9:30 p.m. And when I tell you that Lucy Boone's ice cream is a little piece of paradise, I am speaking the truth.
What is that close to, that part of Barone?
Right by Martin's.
Yeah,
Oh,
right by
right there.
They're just
Okay,
like
good.
in the next
Because when you
block.
say Barone,
Right.
a lot of people
Yeah.
think downtown.
No,
of
no,
course.
no,
This
no,
is
no, no,
fine.
no. This is
Right
way
off St. Charles.
uptown,
Yeah.
right off St.
Got it.
Charles, right by Napoleon, right by Martin's Wine Cellar.
All right.
So
Thank you very much. And Miss Gwen, I asked you to achieve the impossible, and you did. Because how dare I say, I'm sorry, but you know you can come up with 2 suggestions per day.
Per
but I will
day.
let you take it away.
It's true, although I did cheat. I did add a third one on one day, but you'll have to figure it out
That's
yourself.
okay.
But, you know, each year the Jazz and Heritage Festival celebrates the music of a particular nation that has had a direct influence on New Orleans' heritage, musical heritage. And this year, the nation is Mexico. You know, so there are a number of acts, actually, that are performing this weekend. And what's wonderful about these kinds of cultural exchanges is that these acts, unlike the other acts at Jazz Fest, perform more than once. So if you miss them, you know, at one point of the calendar or with the cubes, you know what I mean, you can find them usually someplace else over the weekend. And so there's, you know, there's absolutely no reason to miss any of them. And as I mention every year, if you're at the festival and you're having a wonderful time, you're exactly in the right place where you should be, right? So there's no guilt, there's no FOMO, you know, worrying about what could have been. You're having a great time. This is where the gods want you to be, okay? So, but if you would like some suggestions, I have them, obviously. So on Friday, Youssou N'Dour, I would really like to see him. He's one of the great popular singer-songwriters of the world. You know, he's from Senegal, which is sort of the jewel of the Francophone Africa. You know, every music and magazine that's ever existed has named him as one of the all-time greatest singers. His collaborations over the years include Peter Gabriel and Nina Cherry and Branford Marsalis and Bruce Springsteen. He's performed with everybody. And he's won nearly every prize out there as well for music. And he's played the festival before, and now it's so nice to see him coming back. And he's going to be at Congo Square on Friday at 2:40. And then there's a long-time Mexican performer who has been attracting a great deal of publicity in recent years, and her name is Lila Downs. And she comes from Oaxaca, and her mother was indigenous, her father was American, and she sings in Spanish, but she also sings in the indigenous languages, yes, of Mexico. She's a stunning looking woman, and her sound is stunning as well. She sings a lot of folk songs and traditional songs from Mexico, and I really like those folk songs that she sings. You know, they're the real favorites. As I'm not to say that her original work is not good, because it is, and actually her work has appeared in a lot of movies that we've seen over the years. But her voice has this incredible quality. She sounds like an old country music star. She sounds like a country music singer from the 1950s and 60s. It's as if like Patsy Cline and Tammy Wynette and Katie Lang, all got together and came up with a voice, and that's her voice. It's very strong, very beautiful. Some people say it's operatic. It's lovely. And she's going to be performing at the Fado stage on Friday at 4:20. So I say Lila Downs, yes. And then on Saturday, there's going to be a wonderful group. They've been performing for, I don't know, 30 years now. And they're from Texas. They're called Los Tex Maniacs. And they are fantastic. They're so much fun. They're a dance band. You know, they play Tex-Mex or conjunto music, which is polkas and Scottishes and waltzes, and they also play R&B. They've won a Grammy Award in 2019 for their collaboration with Lyle Lovett. They've also done a lot of tours celebrating the music of Freddie Fender. You remember Freddie Fender, of course. You know, I'll be there before the next teardrop falls. Yeah, love that song. And so now they've got a new album out called Corazones and Canciones. And the Los Tex Maniacs are going to be at the Fado stage on Saturday at 4:30. I just love that. The last shows on Saturday are really pitting some powerhouses against one another. It's hard. It's almost unconscionable, really. You've got Lil Wayne performing at the same time as Taj Mahal, at the same time as Diana Krall, at the same time as Babyface. But the act that I'm thinking that might really, I'm going to try to see all of them, actually. I'm going to steal into every one of them. But the act that I kind of really want to see is Harry Connick Jr. He doesn't perform that often at the festival, and I would love to hear him play his own songs, but secretly, I really want him to play James Booker songs, because there's absolutely nothing better than being at the Jazz and Heritage Festival in the house of James Booker to a large degree, and actually hear somebody who can really play very closely to the way that James Booker played, you know. So if you saw that 2013 documentary that Lily Keeber did on the Bayou Maharaja, then Harry Connick explains Booker's style so beautifully and performs so beautifully that it's just mesmerizing. So I think it would be nice to think about James Booker via Harry Connick Jr. At the Gentilly stage at 5:30 on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we've got, you know, the 300 plus years of music in New Orleans. We all care about music plus dance. You got to have both together. And so that's why I'm very excited to see Mariachi Jalisco with the Ballet Folklorico Vive Mi Tierra. I wish I spoke Spanish, and I hope I didn't ruin it.
You did a good job.
But it's a really excellent show of musicianship as well as traditional dance. I've seen it on YouTube, actually, and it's so beautiful. Absolutely. It's almost like Bunny Bear. Is it Bunny Bear? Not Bear again. Buzz. What was his name? The great choreographer from the Judy Garland.
Buzzy Berkeley.
Buzzy Berkeley. It's like watching Buzzy Berkeley. You know what I mean? Via Mexican folk music, and so that's going to be really wonderful. And that's Sunday at 2:05 at the Pavilion stage. And then every year that Brian Blade plays at the festival is a great year. And he's a drummer, so sensitive, so amazing. He's in such demand. He's played with Daniel Lanois and Joni Mitchell and Bob Dylan and Brad Meldau and Joshua Redman, and he's also a band leader himself. And he is just fantastic, and schooled at Loyola here in New Orleans. Wow. And he's going to be performing on Sunday with the guitarist Bill Frisell. What a legend. And the bassist Thomas Morgan. It's going to be wonderful at the WWOZ Jazz Tent Sunday at 4:15. All right. And then stay there, because it's going to be Branford Marsalis.
Wow.
The Branford Marsalis Quartet. He's going to be at the WWOZ tent. They've come out with a new album called Belonging. It's a tribute to Keith Jarrett, who came out with an album of the same name years ago. He's just wonderful. There's no saxophone player who has the tone of Branford Marsalis. It's fantastic.
All right, thank you so much, dear. And singer Judith Owen is performing at the Jazz Fest this weekend, and she recently stopped by to give us a sneak preview. Judith, it's Jazz Fest time, but so much more. My goodness, you've got a lot of things going on, but tell us about what we can expect at the Jazz Fest with you, kiddo.
It's unbelievable how many different shows I'm doing, but first and foremost, the first weekend, Sunday, 27th, 1:30 p.m., I will be at the Jazz Tent with the J.O. Big Band.
And this is the OZ Jazz Tent.
The OZ Jazz Tent. I'm thrilled because it's the first time I've longed to play there, and finally I got there.
Well, I remember when you, this is years ago, and the Lanyap stage, which was in the paddock, and it was intimate.
Yeah.
And then later Economy Hall, but now this is a big space.
I'm just climbing that ladder to success,
really
aren't I?
are.
Slowly but surely, I will not give up until I get to
Well, tell
where
us
I'm
about
going.
this big band.
Oh, there's nothing more exciting. I did a big band record or CD album, whatever you want to call it, for Christmas with this unbelievable, the fabulous David Torkanowsky there at the piano, and I pulled this together. And he introduced me to an amazing arranger called John Wesson in Texas. And what that man it doesn't know about Nelson Riddle and that whole vibe and the feeling and the Quincy's. He's just got that down. So he did that for the Christmas album. Now he's doing this for the big band. So I'm taking songs that I've done before and songs that I've never, ever done, and we are giving them the J.O. big band treatment. It's going to be thrilling. Really, really exciting.
Now, if someone is meeting you for the first time, so you're very much, there's so many interests that you have, which is a very good thing. But the chanteuses of the 40s and 50s, tell us about that inspiration.
Well, when I was a little girl, my father, who was a very unusual man, he was an opera singer at Covent Garden, which is a big deal if you don't know what that means. It means you're the best of the best. Deal. But he was also a huge jazz and blues fan, particularly of women from the 40s and 50s at the piano. And that at age 5, when I first heard this woman called Nellie Lutcher, who's all but forgotten now, by the way, and Julia Lee, these were unbelievable women at the piano with wit and charm and brilliance, and extraordinary pianist. And it really set me in motion to what I would ultimately become, which is a woman, not today, but mostly in love with being at the piano, singing at the piano, and having that kind of theatricality, that desire to be a great entertainer and a consummate musician at the same time. And that really is what started off my love affair with this and made me who I am today, really, and why I live in New Orleans. Because this is a place that really appreciates that and understands it. And I'm bringing that to Jazz Fest.
Well, we're looking forward to it. And of course, let us once again meet the band. So who's with you tonight?
Well, a mini band today. These are sort of the antithesis of a big band. But here, as I said, David Torkanowsky on piano, and all the way from Bordeaux, France, by way of Australia, the fabulous Dave Blenkhorn on guitar.
And what are you going to play for us?
I'm going to do something that is one of the first things that I got arranged by John, and which is a vocal version, but it will be a big band version of this amazing classic, Moanin'.
All right. So glad you're with us. And Judith, thank you for loving New Orleans so much.
I love it. I do, Peggy. Thanks for having us all on.
Of course.
Everybody's got me moaning 'cause of all the trouble I see. Life's a losing gamble to me. Every morning's got me moaning. Every evening I'm a moaning. Oh, I'm so tired of playing the blues. I'm so tired of paying my dues. Everybody knows that I'm moaning. Lord, I spend every day, every night with my grief. No, and I pray, really pray, someone will bring me relief. Every morning's got me moaning. Oh, 'cause of all the trouble I see. Life's a losing gamble to me. Everybody knows that I'm moaning, moaning. Oh! I spend every day, every night with my grief. And I pray, really pray, someone will bring me relief. Every morning's got me moaning. Oh, 'cause of all the trouble I see. Life's a losing gamble to me. Everybody knows that I'm moaning, moaning. Oh, yeah. Moaning, 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 oh, oh.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. And Judith Owen will be performing a lot. She'll be at the Jazz Fest on Sunday at 1:30 at the OZ10, as we said. Monday at Chikiwawa on Canal Street. Wednesday at Louisiana Music Factory. And Sunday, May 4th at the BK House on Charters in the Quarter. Go to judithowen.net for details. And Tuesday evening at the Columns Hotel, David Torkanowsky has assembled quite the evening of piano at Columns, and that includes Judith, Victor Campbell, and many more. And you can go to thecolumns.com/events for more information on that. All righty.
Okay,
Alan.
all right. It seems hard to believe, Peg, it's been a decade since playwright John Patrick Shanley was New Orleans as part of our Tennessee Williams New Orleans Literary Festival. His seminal work, of course, Doubt, a Parable, won a Tony Award back in 2005, is the best play, and it was awarded the Pulitzer Prize as well. The play originally starred Cherry Jones on Broadway in the role of Sister Aloysius, actually off-Broadway first, Sister Aloysius Bouvier. It was a new production that we're going to see now coming up at Le Petit on May the 1st. Will star Leslie Nipkow in the role of the conservative school principal's sister, Aloysius Bouvier. And again, she has doubt and suspects a priest of some possible misdeeds. It's going to be directed by Ashley Record Santos, who's back in the director's chair for this drama at Le Petit Theater. Opens again next weekend. There was a book that was published in 2012 by Cheryl Strayed. It was titled Tiny Beautiful Things, in which the protagonist was a gossip columnist, if you will, an advice columnist. It was later turned into a play and adapted for the stage by Nia Vardalos, who many of you remember from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Well, Crescent City co-founder and our co-artistic director, Michael Newcomer, is going to direct this play at the Marquette Theater on Loyola campus. And here's a shot of the cast. We'll have that reviewed next month, I guess. And meanwhile, I have to tell you about something going across town, too. That is at the Rivertown Theaters. Kelly and Mark Fushi, who, of course, are part of the artistic co-founders. You see Mark on the left and, of course, Kelly on the right. They're starring together in stage for the very first time since Theater 13 took over the management at Rivertown. Mark will play Nick Bottom, a contemporary playwright in the Elizabethan era, dealing with that superstar of his day, William Shakespeare. And Kelly will play his wife, Bee, while others in the cast include Jake Wynn Wilson as the bard, and Bryce Slocum as, I believe he's going to be playing the minstrel. Ricky Graham, Ken Good Jr., and Scott Sarber will be on the boards as well. That's Something Rotten, and again, a great, funny takeoff of the musicals. Last week, by the way, Peggy, on my NOLA Theater Talk Show, we had Anwar Nasir of the LPO with a sneak peek of their season. We were supposed to have the artistic director from the opera, Lila Palmer, on. Unfortunately, she was unable to be with us at that time, but we're rescheduled for 8:30 this Monday night, when she'll be discussing the upcoming season's Piety and Desire. But prior to that, we're going to have Leonard Raybon, the newly appointed permanent artistic director at Summer Lyric Theater, and Jean-A Buisson, the brilliant choreographer, will be directing a chorus line in June at Summer Lyric. And for all of you who want to check it out, we have a wonderful show coming up. Fans of the national tour of Funny Girl that played here in February, we're going to have a major coup on our NOLA Theater Talk Show, because we have national tour stars Hannah Shankman, who played Fanny Bryce, and Melissa Manchester, who played her mother Rose. They're going to be joining me with Cheryl Stern, who played Mrs. Rakosh and was Melissa's understudy in the show. They're going to talk about Funny Girl. And, of course, we also have the stars from the Broadway revival. Tova Feldsha and Julie Benko have agreed to be on the show as well. It's going to be a great show. I hope everybody will get a chance to see it. You can see it on the NOLA Theater Talk Show, the NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, the theatercriticism.com Facebook page, my own YouTube channel. And again, the last thing I want to mention, Peg, we have the LPO going to Luling to perform a concert of Disney songs featuring 4 singers from recent movies like Encanto and Frozen, and other favorites like The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, etc. Go check it out. It's going to be in Luling.
Thank you so much, Alan. You know, we've all grown up visiting the public library. Producer Dawn Logsdon shares some special stories in her brand new documentary, Free for All, the Public Library.
The role of the library, what I discovered working on this film, is that it's always changing. And they are now the digital bridge across the divide for everybody. A lot of computer services, a lot of community activities. And so you can check out a lawnmower at some libraries, you can check out power tools, you can check out a pressure cooker. I think what I'm trying to impart to an audience right now is how precious all these public spaces are that we have. You know, we've taken them for granted as Americans forever. The childhood librarian of Martin Luther King. And she has just these amazing stories. Apparently he was a regular. His family lived just down the street and he came all the time. Apparently they would like practice poetry together where they'd each recite a line and then another line, and that's in the film. She also had a big collection of books about nonviolence. And apparently he wanted to start reading those books when he was a kid, I think maybe a young teenager or tween. And he wasn't allowed to check them out because they were only in the adult sections. So she worked out something with his dad where his dad would check them out for them. He arrived here as an immigrant, apparently a rather poor immigrant from Scotland, and he made a fortune, primarily in steel. Well, first in the railroads and then in steel. And he's going to go down in history forever, not only for being the father of libraries, but for being a huge union buster. So he paid for, I think it's like 1,700 public libraries in the United States. He built theaters into them, he built swimming pools, there's one with a bowling alley, there's one with a barber shop, a billiard room. The one that really stood out for me was the one in Harlem. They had a little theater in the basement. Harry Belafonte got started there, Sidney Poitier got started there, Ruby Dee got started there, and yeah, there's some fabulous photos from that time. It's an embodiment of the American dream expanding to include everybody, because libraries didn't used to be for everybody.
And the program debuts nationally at Tuesday evening on PBS, and you can see it at 9 p.m. at WYES, WYES.org, and the WYES and PBS apps. Time for Picks of the Week. Poppy.
Chance in Hell Snowballs, Kitten and Lou are down at their new permanent location on Louisa Street Friday through Monday. You can have boozy snowballs now, too, and they also have savory house-made snacks.
All right, Gwen.
Sunday, Nicholas Payton and Dr. Michael White are going to celebrate the centennial of Louis Armstrong's Hot 5 and Hot 7 at Economy Hall 10,
All right.
3 o'clock.
Thank you, Alan.
A couple of interesting choices for the classically minded. First of all, the rescheduled Swing in the Oaks and artistic and music director Matthew Kramer's leading the LPO the last time for this year until the next season, with our own Peggy Scott Laborde serving as the guest announcer, rescheduled from last week, and it's free. And then guest conductor Noam Aviel will lead the LPO in their season finale at the Orpheum with the Brahms Symphony No. 3 and other pieces by Liszt and Higdon's Cold Mountain Suite. I'll see you at the theater.
All right, thank you. Now, my picks. If you are at the Jazz Fest tomorrow, Friday, I will be interviewing the country music group Chapel Hart at 1 p.m. at the Allison Minor Stage in the grandstands. And I know you're doing Ricky Lee Jones.
That's right, on Thursday.
On Thursday. Fantastic. Hat maker Tracy Thompson, long of Fest staple, will have her kabuki hat sale Wednesday from 10 to 7 at 123 David Street in Mid-City, and then Saturday, May 3rd from 11 to 4 at 2701 Chartis. Guitarist John Rankin and friends will play Wednesday evening at the Deutsches Haus starting at 7. And while you're there, check out the art exhibit by members of the New Orleans Art Association. We've got Summer, look at this, Summer Duckweed by Claire Pesky is an example. It's up through May 4th. Thank you all very much. This was a pretty packed show. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area. The Chicory House Bistro at the Rink offers breakfast and lunch daily. And now a new bar upstairs inside the Garden District Bookshop, 2727 Britannia Street at Washington Avenue. Learn more at therinknola.com.